Bryce Mitchell. Let's go.
Bryce Mitchell, up yours, mother.
I'm unfazed by the pressure. I simply want to destroy this heathen that lies in front of me, and that's all that I care about. What people have to say, I could care less. I'm here to crush a heathen who blasphemes my holy God.
For as controversial as Bryce Mitchell can be, and for as ignorant as Bryce can be at times, Jean Silva, because we cannot sugarcoat what Bryce said, but there are a lot of people that would want to watch Jean Silva beat on him, and Jean Silva understands that even though Bryce is getting horrible publicity, Bryce is still getting publicity. So if you beat that man who's getting any type of publicity, you will now get some of that.
That's a very hard fight for Bryce Mitchell. I think Jean Silva is just too quick, too slick, too intelligent, his distance control is too strong. Now, there's always a way to win a fight, but this is a very difficult one. I actually just met Jean Silva. We took a picture together. I asked him for a picture. I'm a big fan of Jean Silva. I'm like a really, really big fan of his. Like in terms of his skill and watching him fight, I watch all his fights. I mean, I find the guy to be incredibly, he's very calm in the ring. He's very, in the octagon, he's very precise. He's very powerful. He's going to be a problem, man. This guy's a real problem for anybody.
He's an absolute technician, but he's a killer as well. Sometimes you see guys that are technicians, but they don't throw a whole lot of volume, or maybe don't throw a whole lot of variety, and maybe they're not versatile. That is not the case with Jean Silva. This guy is special, John. His ability to land shots at the right time. It reminds me of Conor McGregor in his prime. Just how he can find your chin and the artistry that he shows in getting there. He's not just winging punches with his eyes looking down at the canvas. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it's just beautiful to watch. This guy is someone to watch, and he may very well be a champion in this sport in the near future.
I see a lot of people like dismissing Bryce Mitchell because Jean Silva is a monster, and he is. And if I had to put my money, I would put on Jean Silva because, like, the momentum, everything. But you have to remember, and I saw that on internet, people saying that the other guy, the Canadian guy, took Jean Silva down 2 times.
Charles Jourdain,
yeah.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, so I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think, you know. But I'm telling you, I'm pretty hyped up for the fight. Yeah, especially after the, you know, and I don't know if these guys are trying to really build up or they believe in what they're saying, you know. I don't know. It's very strange, but at the same time, like you say, I want to watch the fight, brother. I want to see what's going to happen.
Brother, the signs are everywhere, and I've asked God for signs this fight. I've been asking him. I said, God, please give me signs.
Does that give you some peace?
It does, because I know he's with me. And Joshua, before battle, he would ask for signs. All these great warriors throughout history, they would know they were going to be victorious, but they'd say, God, I'm so weak, I want signs. I want you to talk to me, God. Tell me that I'm going to be victorious. The fight's on 4/12. Mm-hmm. You know, well, my wife is from Pittsburgh. 4/12. That's the area code.
Is that the area code?
That's the area code, Pittsburgh. My son was born at 4:12 in the morning.
I mean, pity's an ugly word, isn't it? But I feel sorry for Bryce because I feel like his world's very small, and I feel like he's looking down you know, the center of a toilet roll and not seeing much more of it. Bless him, and the ridicule's not going to help because it's only going to further embed him into his opinions. Because that, you know, it seems to be a very American trait. You know what I mean? If you attack someone's beliefs, they become even more embedded into their beliefs. You know what I mean? So it's almost patriotic to stand his ground. So we have to be careful how much we're attacking him because, you know, I don't think it's good for his health. And he's also taking punches and potentially going to take a big right hand in his next fight. So we need to keep a close eye on him.
Jean Silva, we've seen he can just be a bully. You know, he can be a bully. He can walk you down. He can mix it up and play a counter striker. He's got a really, really complete package as far as a striker. And we've seen his work in the clinch is not that bad as well. I believe for Jean, just kind of walking down and impose your will. Don't make any big mistakes, and work behind a solid jab. Good body shots, and I believe his power is just going to be a lot.
Right. That's how I feel that I've been placed by people, but the Lord has not set me up for that. I'm telling you, the Lord has set me up for success. These people are fools to think that their plans is what's going to happen. The Lord has his plans for me, and the Lord has put me here because he knows I'm more than capable of winning. The Lord has not set me up for slaughter. I don't care what man has done to me, to betray me, to do all this evil to me, to try to get me to shut up. The Lord has set me up plans to prosper, and this is the path that he's given me, and I will prosper.
I'm going to be honest. Bryce Mitchell could give Jean Silva some problems. His wrestling, if you go back to Jean Silva's earlier fights in the UFC, there was a couple times in there he had some wrestling issues where people were able to kind of take him down and do a little bit of control. So Bryce Mitchell can definitely control somebody. So that's one that you're gonna have to. That's a tough fight. It's a tough fight, I think, in the stand-up. It's a tough fight for Bryce. And on the ground, it's a tougher fight for Silva. So it'll be interesting to see. I love the matchup. I think it's great. I love the fact that he called him out. I love the fact that Bryce Mitchell stands up to it and says, yeah, let's do it.
But in saying that, Bryce Mitchell is going to be Silva's toughest test to date as well.
Yeah.
But Silva, obviously his hands and that, if you want to get a hitman, he's one of them. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to get hitman or Bryce Mitchell. But supposedly Bryce called for this as well. So it probably just worked out perfectly for everyone. But yeah, I still think Bryce Mitchell, is obviously his toughest match as well. But I mean, exciting fight. Like, the press conference is going to be a bit of the same. So looking forward to that. A bit of excitement. I'm just going to have fun with it. Let them do all the trash talking, and that's good.
Yeah, I was watching Jean Silva dropped his whole sparring vid, so I was watching him spar and train and stuff. He gets put on his back, and he gets put in bad positions. Like, it looks like he's going with good black belts, but I mean, like, that is not
Yeah, and if Bryce Mitchell puts you on your back, you might get stuck there or submitted. Bryce Mitchell is no joke on the ground. He took Elia down. Mm-hmm. He's a motherfucker. But that's exciting.
Yeah, and I like the matchup too, and I think it favors Jean Silva, because if you look at those last couple of losses from Bryce Mitchell, was all boxers, stock guy, strong, like Josh Emmett and Topuria. I think Jean Silva is kind of like short guy too, good takedown defense. And he got taken down by Charlie Jourdain, but the guys keep improving. He has a great team. I think they're gonna close that gap, and I think he wins.
And I know that this is a battle of good versus evil. And don't you dare think that I'm calling myself good and I'm calling Jean evil. I'm talking about who he serves is evil. Anything other than Jesus Christ is evil. I serve good. I serve the light. Jesus Christ is the light, and in him there is no darkness. So I'm not calling myself good. I'm calling my master good. And my master is Jesus Christ, and he has Lord on his chest. He is not the Lord, and he does not serve the Lord. He's not worthy to have Lord on his chest. He's not worthy to undo the sandal straps of the Lord, let alone have his name tattooed on his chest. And here's how I know that this man is possessed. Well, first off, he barks like a dog, like a heathen. And I'm just telling you, this man is possessed, and the very name of Jesus prompts him to maliciousness.
The Miami card was fine. The Miami card didn't need anything else. And they just added it to the Miami card. So it's Bryce Mitchell, Jean Silva, April 12th, UFC 314, Kaseya Center. And if Silva can do what he has done to his previous opponents in the UFC, he's already a big baby face, a massive baby face. He's going to be a super duper baby face in the eyes of a lot of people, all right? Don't get crazy. Let's not get into too much craziness right now, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's the fight to make. Bryce seemed to want it as well, and so there you have it.